Imagine standing in Mecca during the 7th century as the first rays of sunlight pierce the horizon, bathing the ancient city in a warm golden glow. The desert air is crisp and cool, carrying the promise of another scorching day. As you gaze upon the Kaaba, its black stone walls gleaming in the early morning light, you can't help but feel a sense of awe and reverence. The city slowly awakens, and the narrow streets begin to fill with pilgrims and traders from distant lands. Their voices, a cacophony of different languages and dialects, blend with the braying of camels and the rhythmic clanging of metal as merchants set up their stalls in the bustling marketplace. The air is thick with the heady aroma of exotic spices, the earthy scent of leather, and the ever-present dust that seems to cling to everything in this desert oasis. As you make your way through the winding alleys, you pass by groups of Quraysh leaders, their ornate robes and proud bearing a testament to their status as the guardians of Mecca's ancient traditions. They gather around the Kaaba, tending to the idols of their forefathers with practiced reverence. The sound of their prayers mingles with the chatter of pilgrims, creating a strange harmony of old and new. Yet, amidst this familiar scene, there's an undercurrent of change. In hidden corners and quiet homes, small groups of early Muslims gather in secret, their voices barely above a whisper as they recite the newly revealed verses of the Quran. Their eyes shine with a mixture of fear and hope, fear of persecution from those who cling to the old ways and hope for the promise of a new path to salvation. The marketplace comes alive as the sun climbs higher in the sky. Merchants call out their wares, their voices competing for attention in the crowded streets. Bolts of fine silk from distant China catch your eye, their vibrant colors a stark contrast to the muted tones of the desert landscape. The air is filled with the pungent aroma of spices from India and Arabia, cinnamon, cardamom, and saffron, their scents mingling with the earthy smell of freshly tanned leather and the sweet perfume of incense. As you navigate through the throng of people, you overhear snippets of conversation. Traders haggle over the price of goods, their animated discussions punctuated by gestures and good-natured laughter. Pilgrims share stories of their long journeys, their voices filled with wonder at the sights they've seen and the hardships they've endured. And beneath it all, there's a current of tension, whispered discussions about the new prophet and his message of monotheism. The heat of the day intensifies, and you seek refuge in the shade of a nearby building. As you rest, you notice a small group of men huddled together, their voices low and urgent. They speak of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the revelations he has received. Their eyes are alight with passion as they discuss the concept of one God, so different from the pantheon of deities that have long been worshipped in Mecca. You can sense the excitement in their words, the feeling that they are part of something momentous, a revolution of faith that will change the world. Yet there's also fear in their glances, a wariness born from the knowledge that their beliefs are not yet accepted by many in Mecca. They part ways quickly, melting back into the crowd, their secret safe for another day. As the sun reaches its zenith, the call to prayer rings out across the city. The familiar words of the Adhan float on the air, a reminder of the old ways that still hold sway in Mecca. Yet, for those who have embraced the message of Islam, it's a bittersweet sound, a reminder of the spiritual journey that lies ahead and the challenges they must face to follow their new faith. The afternoon brings a lull to the city as people seek shelter from the oppressive heat. In the quiet of a small home, you witness a clandestine gathering of new Muslims. They sit in a circle, their faces etched with concentration as they listen to one of their number recite the latest verses of the Quran. The words seem to hang in the air, filled with power and beauty, touching the hearts of all who hear them. You can see the impact of these words on the faces of those gathered. Some weep silently, overcome by the beauty and truth they perceive in the message. Others nod in agreement, their expressions thoughtful as they contemplate the implications of this new faith. There's a palpable sense of community in this small group, a bond forged by shared belief and the challenges they face together. As the day begins to wane, you find yourself once again near the Kaaba. The golden light of the setting sun paints the sky in brilliant hues of orange and pink, casting long shadows across the sacred space. Pilgrims circle the ancient structure, their lips moving in silent prayer as they complete the tawaf. The rhythmic sound of their footsteps on the smooth stone is hypnotic, a timeless ritual that has been performed for generations. Yet, even here in the heart of Mecca's religious life, you can sense the winds of change. Among the pilgrims, you notice a few who pause in their circumambulation, their eyes closed and hands raised in a manner different from the others. These are the followers of Muhammad, peace be upon him, performing their prayers according to the new teachings of Islam. As night falls, the city takes on a different character. The heat of the day gives way to the cool of the desert night, and the streets come alive once more. Lamps and torches are lit, casting flickering shadows on the walls of buildings. The scent of cooking fires fills the air, mingling with the lingering aromas of the day's trade. In the quiet corners of the city, small groups of Muslims gather for evening prayers. Their voices rise and fall in unison as they recite the words of the Quran, finding strength and comfort in their shared faith. The emotion in their voices is palpable, a mixture of joy at the beauty of their newfound beliefs and anxiety about the uncertain future that lies ahead. As you reflect on all you've witnessed, you're struck by the sense of being present at a pivotal moment in history. The tension between the old ways and the new faith is tangible, a force that seems to vibrate through the very stones of the city. Yet there is also a feeling of inevitability, a sense that the message brought by Muhammad, peace be upon him, is destined to spread far beyond the confines of this ancient city. In this moment, Mecca stands at the crossroads of history. The traditions of centuries past clash with the revolutionary message of monotheism, creating a dynamic tension that will shape the future of not just this city, but the entire world. As you stand there surrounded by the sights, sounds, and scents of 7th century Mecca, you can't help but feel that you are witnessing the birth Of something truly extraordinary, a new faith that will change the course of human history.